Greetings, Dan here. It's the 5th of July and the sun has come out. Been raining all morning, very interesting, but there we are. That's the weather for you. So today I'm going to be harvesting, which is hopefully going to be a rather large crop of Maris Piper potatoes, which I planted in this 30-litre container, probably around early February time. So I want to have something nice for dinner, either baked potatoes or some chips. So Maris Piper is a lovely potato for both of those. So let's tip this out and see what we've got. So I'm going to be tipping it out into this container here of a homemade compost. Some of you may have seen the last video I put up, which was a potato video. You can have a look at the harvests I had from my first early determinate potatoes. So very interesting. Now what also is interesting about these is these are actually grown from a shop bought potato. I think it was Aldi, probably Lidl actually, but one or the other, either or. So I'm going to tip it out in here and let's see what we got. Let's have a look. Crikeys. They're beautiful potatoes, aren't they? They look nice just looking at them. Certainly not baking potato size, but that's fine. These will make lovely little chips later on. So yeah, this brings me over to here in this 230-litre container. So I've got a cherry tree in here, variety Sunburst, and it is carrying an absolutely enormous crop. So I hope these are coming out loud and clear. So if you see just how lovely these cherries look, so if I pick one, oh yeah, no, they're lovely. Now they could take a little bit longer, or you can leave them, or sorry, you could eat them now. But absolutely beautiful. And look how many there are just on here. So the cherries, they're all up here as well. Really beautiful. Crikey. There's probably, well, I don't know, there's hundreds of cherries on this little tree here. So for those of you who sort of don't have a big garden, or you can only grow a cherry tree in a pot, don't be, you know, fed up with that situation necessarily, because you can get lovely crops in containers like you've seen me do here. What I do with this, or what I did last winter, was I mulched it with some manure and some compost around the top so that the nutrients returned back to the growing medium during the winter, and that may or may not have helped with this lovely crop, but either way it's beautiful. You can see here, got it covered up with this net to stop the pigeons and probably other birds. A little bit of weeding of the patch here really was a bit out of control, to be honest. I shouldn't have let it get that bad, but that's just you know how gardening goes sometimes. Sometimes you either don't have the time, or you don't make the time to do it, or you just can't face doing it because of other reasons, and there's so much else to do as well, isn't there? But either way, I did a bit this morning, or this afternoon, whenever it may have been. So in amongst the weeding, unfortunately, I managed to pull out a load of onions and some garlic whilst I was doing it, because the weeds were thick, but doesn't matter, there's plenty to come. So this is a variety of onion called Carmen, nice red onion, which I grew from onion sets. So that's one there. Now you can eat the tops as well, or I do anyway. I think they're very good for you, they're good for me anyway. And here I've got some garlic, and this is a variety called Morado, which I actually grew from shop bought cloves, grocery store bought cloves. So actually looking at these, yep, there's a nice yeah, I mean look, I'll just show you a little garlic clove here. Yep, very garlicky, and look at that. So quite often people like to sort of dry these out a little bit in order to sort of cure it a bit, but I'm actually probably going to be cooking some of these tonight with my meal. So got some onions there, I'll chop them up, probably fry them up with the chips. That will be absolutely delicious. Got the potatoes for the chips, and there's plenty of cherries there if I want them. So I'm going to have a little bit of perpetual spinach with my dinner tonight. So that's really good. Now, my aim at the moment is to try and eat something from the garden every day. That's a reasonable goal, if you want to call it that, for me to achieve. There's plenty out here to eat at the moment. There needs to be more, but I can work on that. Still got plenty of time to do some plantings. But just being able to come out in your garden and have a little bit of a harvest, even a relatively small one. A sort of little aim that I've sort of suggested people go for in the past with regards to food growing is to go for about 5%. So if you can aim to eat, or home grow or allotment grow, whatever, 5% of the food you eat, then I think that could be quite a good goal and quite achievable for a lot of people. If you turn around and say you're going to try and go 100% self-sufficient or close to that, you know, you might be disappointed. There are some people that can achieve that. Quite a difficult goal to achieve, particularly if you want a rather bit more expanded diet. But you get the idea. If you can't go for 5%, go for 2.5%. If you can't go for that, you know, grow yourself some radishes and chuck them in with the store-bought lettuce you have. But you're at least having to go and cultivating something, and I think that's a great way to start and carry on and slowly improve. So there we go. Got a nice bit of perpetual spinach there. There we are. So that's pot of dinner dealt with, which is wonderful. So chips and some perpetual spinach and maybe some cherries for afters. Gonna have a look round here. There's plenty more for me to eat if I want it, which is great. Here they'll be coming soon, the main crop potatoes, so really good indeed. What are you harvesting? What are you growing at the moment? Let me know. Thanks for your time. See you in the next video.